look who's back. It's my favorite client. Welcome, darling. Step inside. I was waiting for you. How have you been? Better. Well, that's a relief to hear. When the mountain retreat told me that you booked another session with me, I was more than happy and excited, to say the least. I'm glad that you enjoyed my service at the mountain retreat. Well, last time you fell asleep at the end of our session, and you had the utmost adorable sleepy face I have ever seen before. So I am glad that perchance today I will be able to say it again. But we will figure that out. Well, enough chit-chat from me. Sit down on the bed if you like. Make yourself comfortable. Not so eager, sweetheart. We will begin the session in a moment. As I already told you last time, the session only truly begins after I turned over the Sandclock. But before that, we will determine what your needs are today and what kind of treatment is best for you. Hold on, let me pull up your charts from the computer. Yeah, I'll just type in your name and that should pop up. There we go. Okay, awesome. Okay, before we dive right in, I am again, like last time, going to ask you a few questions to determine your needs and your wants so that I can give you the utmost and best treatment you've ever had. Is that alright with you, sweetheart? Awesome. Okay, I will take some notes along with that. I hope you don't mind. Okay. First of all, I wanted to ask you what services you liked last time and what eventually you like to see again. No need to be so embarrassed, darling. You don't need to refuse that. You don't need to deny it. I can see by the redness in your face. It's okay. You can tell me. It is my pleasure and my duty to take good care of you. So better be honest. You liked when I massaged you, and you liked me playing with your hair as you listened to my heartbeat, and I whisper into your ear. anything else. Being caressed by my fluffy tail. Oh, of course, darling. I could tell how much you love that. Don't worry. I will not leave that service out today. Or any of the ones you've mentioned. I'm glad you've enjoyed yourself that much. Okay. On to the next question. How do you feel today? And by that, I don't mean the answer you would give a friend or a stranger that asks you how you are just to be polite. I mean, how do you really feel? Not just right now in this moment temporarily. How do you feel overall? What's been on your mind lately? Oh, my poor darling. I say. Yeah. No, I get that a lot. Exhaustion, loneliness, sadness, wanting to give up. As I said last time, those are not things that are uncommon. I feel for you. I truly do. Okay. I think I know how I will help you today. And I will be trying out new things as well to help relax you even more, so that maybe you can relax just enough so that all the exhaustion and all the loneliness in your body leaves and evaporates. Yeah. Have you ever heard about something called stone therapy? Oh, you haven't? It will be my pleasure to explain to you. To put it simply, stone therapy is, well, it has two parts. One is cooperated into the massage with putting hot stones onto your back so that the warmth of the stones releases the tension in your muscles and eases them up while I massage you. And the other is to calm down and relax by the sound of the stones. Just as you imagine, perhaps, that those stones are the ones that the waves in the ocean crash against. But I fear that will be too abstract to explain the whole thing. So let's not confuse you now. Okay, darling. I want you to get into a comfortable position. Yeah, however you like, so that you are comfortable. But don't lay down yet. I need easy and full access to your ears. And I won't be able to do that if you're laying down. But don't you worry, darling. We will get to that in a bit. Okay. Perfect. Let me turn around the Sandclock. That's it. Listen to every little sand droplet drop down bit by bit. So whenever you get lost in thoughts during our session today, that you can focus on the sound and come back to me and focus on this, on us, on the present. Okay? Good. Okay. Before proceeding with stone therapy, I will warm your ears up. Yeah, we'll make your ears sensitive and receptive to the sound of the stones. Because as you may know, stones are heavy and they can be loud sometimes. So, we don't want to start off with that right away. Right? Okay. If you want, close your eyes and just relax as I take care of you. And you just let go and let yourself be here. Be in the present with me. You have quite the lovely ears. Yeah, you do. So small and adorable, but perfect to tease and to tingle. Okay, now I will use these water gloves. Hopefully they will help you relax. The sound of water is one of the most relaxing. Wouldn't you agree? And we actually use these water gloves quite often in our sessions. At least I do. Yeah. A lot of my clients feel relaxed after listening to the sound of the water. So I hope that you will do enjoy it too. But by your relaxed impression, I have no doubt that it does. Feel yourself relaxing. You're doing such a good job. Yeah, you are quite the obedient client, which makes you even more cute and even more admirable. Yeah, for someone so troubled, even though that feels to be the wrong word, but for someone so troubled, you do seem quite eager to help yourself make things get better. And that's such a good thing. It's such a good thing that you want to feel better, that you want to look after yourself, that you want to get better, that you don't just give up and say, it is what it is. No, you actively go after it. I was so relieved when they told me from the reception that you booked another appointment with us. So beyond relieved. Well, partly also because I was excited to see you again. Because, well, I am fond of you. And I rarely get the clients as obedient and sweet as you. But mostly I was relieved because last time after our session, I realized how much you probably benefit from our session. You fell asleep and you slept so long and so peaceful. It was just such a sight. You seemed like you had no worries in the world. And I know that after one session, one's troubles don't just go away in a heartbeat. It takes time. It takes patience. It takes courage. So when you took another appointment with me, I knew that you had the courage. Knew that you wanted to keep going, and to keep feeling better, and to keep doing what's best for you. And I was so proud with you. But there's that. Anyway, I think we've warmed up your ears quite alright. Well, yes, yeah, I got a little bit lost with talking to you. You seem to have that effect on me. I quite forget protocols and the time when I'm around you. Anyway, so about stone therapy. That is quite something new, and not many people know of it, but it can be very relaxing because the sound of the stones as they harmonize with each other, or as a piece of them falls down to the others, can be quite relaxing. At least studies have shown that. So I want to try that out with you. If that is something you would like. See, as I was saying, such a compliant client. One of the best. someone as gentle as you deserve. Just listen to the sound of the stones following their natural flow, falling against each other, rubbing each other, being one with each other. You know what my favorite sound is? Well, there are actually two. One of them is the crackling of a nice fireplace. Maybe a campfire together with family and friends. Sitting there as one shares a funny story. The others laugh, but you actually focus on the sound of the fire and tune everything out. But I guess that's mostly more a me thing, since I usually daydream a lot. Anyway, my second favorite sound in the world, as you can maybe already guess, is the sound of the water, of the waves crashing against stones, crashing against shore, going back and flowing again, crashing against the stones, and flowing back again. That is back and forth, back and forth, just as the water is pushed, it is pulled back again. It is a push and pull. It is flow and ebb. It is waves and still water. What I'm trying to get at, what I'm trying to say, although I'm realizing the analogy might not be as fitting as I want it to be. There's always two sides of a coin. So, just maybe because you're pushed into the wrong direction, or you think you're walking the wrong path, don't think that's the end of it. Don't think things won't return to their normal state. Just as the ocean pushes the water away, it pulls it back to itself. So just as you are pushed towards exhaustion, towards the wrong path, or whatever, you will be pulled back in again. You will be pulled back onto the right path. You just have to trust in yourself and not give up. Because with time, and all good things take time, everything will be better and return back to normal. You just have to be a little more patient with yourself. Can you do that for me? I know it's a lot to ask, and I am not asking you to give me a promise. You should promise yourself to be patient with yourself, to be kind with yourself, because you are such a kind, such a caring, such a joyful, just such a lively soul. a valuable and worthy human that deserves kindness from others, from family, from friends. But mostly, you deserve this kindness from yourself. Treasure the body that inherits this beautiful soul, and treasure the soul that makes so many people smile. You just don't know it. You just don't know what you mean to people in your life, or what you might mean in the future to people that you will meet. Anyway, that's stone therapy for now. I won't make it too long, because again it has a new method, and I don't want to drag it out too long. And after all, we still have other services I am going to provide to you. And you know, I know it wasn't on the list earlier, but I clearly remember how much you enjoyed when I was blowing your ears last time. So once again, I will blow your ears and help them calm down from stone therapy a little. So, hush again. You're blushing again. Is it making you blush that much when I get so close to your ear that I could whisper into it? Oh, so intimately. But don't worry, I will do just that in a bit. Stay patient for a while, my darling. Aw, someone got awfully red. Someone might think I turned you into a tomato in our session. I'm sorry, my humor is quite odd. But well, what can I say? I'm not your ordinary woman, as you may have already noticed. Well, we are almost already halfway through with our session today. So now I will go over to the massage and massage you a little. After that, we can cuddle again like last time. You wrapped on the fluffy fur of my tail, close to my chest, as I play with your hair and whisper oh so sweetly into your ears. A little smile. You seem to enjoy the idea. Good. Oh, I meant to ask you also, what do you think of my new hairstyle? Is it making you blush too? Or is it just me? 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 Or is it just me Oh, I also meant to ask you, would you like a cup of water? Of course. Here, I'll pour you one. Here we go. Good. While I prepare my things, you can take off your t-shirt and lay down on the bed with your back looking up to me. Warming up the stones. Here's the lotion. Use that spray. Okay, awesome. Okay, I've got all my things gathered now. And you did a good job at following instructions. Lovely. Okay. Let me put on some. Okay. Onto my hands. And onto this end as well. That's good. Yeah, I love the smell of this spray. It is so lovely. It has a very, very nice summery smell, if you understand what I'm saying. No, I mean, yes, it is to help with the massage, but the smell it releases is also helping you to relax, because it has lavender in it. It will essentially help you fall asleep better and relax better. I hope you don't take offense to me spraying it without checking in with you first. It slipped my mind. You don't mind because you fully trust the expert in this. Oh, haven't you become quite the smooth talker now, huh? Okay, let me spritz 2 more. 1 and 2. There we go. Okay. First, I will start by putting the hot stones onto your back, but only to the middle of your back, on top of your spine, because that's usually where the muscles are tensing up the most. And since you trust the expert, I doubt you will have any reason to oppose to that plan. Okay, here we go. 1. That's number 2. How is that? Is the temperature okay? Or is it too hot? It's just the right temperature. Well, I'm quite glad to hear that, darling. 4. And the 5th and last one at the very bottom. And 5. you already feel the effect of the stones? You feel very relaxed. Well, that was quite the relief to hear. Well then, I will put on some cream onto my hands and start the massage. There we go. There we go. That's it. Compared to last time, you're not as tensed anymore, but you still, and again, have some tension in your body, especially in those shoulders of yours. Yeah, that's it. Relax into my touch. Just relax into my touch. If you want, close your eyes. Close your eyes and relax as you listen to my voice. You know, when you were earlier sharing your travels with me, I could see the weight of the world on your shoulders. And I want you to know that you're not alone on this journey. You've been incredibly strong, pushing through each and every day, despite the exhaustion that tugs at your spirit. And hell, it is perfectly okay to feel tired and overwhelmed. It just means you've been trying your hardest, and that your energy is all used up. But energy can be restored. And remember, you don't have to carry this burden all by yourself anymore. You're not alone anymore. You have me. I'm here for you, ready to lend you an ear, or a helping hand, or a fluffy tail, whatever it is you need from now on. You deserve to rest and recharge, to take a break from the constant demands. Just breathe. Breathe. Yeah, breathe with me. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Hold it. And breathe out. That's it. I can feel some of the tension going away. But you sure still have some very stubborn knots. So continue to breathe for me. And continue to relax. 1, 2, 3. And hold. And breathe out. And again. Breathe in. And out. That's it. That's it. There we go. Keep up that pace. Yeah. As I said, you deserve to rest and recharge. Your feelings are valid, and your well-being is important. Take this time to be gentle with yourself, knowing that you are cherished and valued, not for what you do, but for who you are. And believe me, brighter days will come. And until then, let's face this together, head on. There we go. Finally, the last note is gone as well. Good job, darling. I'm proud of you. Good job. You look already so very sleepy, don't you? Don't worry. I will tend to that now. Let me remove the hot stones. Did you enjoy the massage again? You did. That's a relief, my dear. It is a relief indeed. Well then, let me put everything aside. Okay, there we go. So, is it okay for you if I join you on bed and wrap my fluffy tail around you to cuddle you and hold you close? It is. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Well, of course, silly. I don't joke around with consent. I would never want to do something that makes you feel uncomfortable, even though you've enjoyed it once before. Doesn't mean you want me to do it once more. You should always ask. But it's sweet of you to say that. I appreciate the compliment. Well then, let me wrap you up in my tail. There we go. There we go. Just like that. Perfect. So close to my arms. that you may be able to hear my heartbeat, as soothing as it is. That's it. Thank you. I'm so proud of you. Well, of course I am. Don't you think anything in the world will change that? You're so comfy and cozy in my arms and on my fluffy tail. I'm here for you. You're not alone in this. As I said, it's okay to feel tired. You've been doing your best. You are loved and appreciated. Your feelings matter, and it's important to take care of yourself. Yeah, of course. Remember that tough times are temporary, and brighter days are ahead. Of course. Why would I go on and say things I don't mean? That is the furthest thing from true. You are not. You are not all of that you just said. You are more than that. You're valued and important, even when you don't feel your best. Nothing will change that. I see that your mind is still not fully relaxed. Not as much as your body is. So how about I play with your hair and help your mind settle down a bit while telling you things, whispering, and then eventually you will fall asleep and drift away. Does that sound like a deal, darling? Very well. Then I'll start playing with your hair as well. Now close your eyes. Just close them. I know you can do that for me. I know you want to be good for me. No doubt in that. Good job. Now, visualize yourself in a beautiful forest like you've never seen before. Picture tall trees standing strong and resilient. Their leaves rustling gently on the breeze. And as you walk deeper and deeper and deeper into the forest, you come across a quiet clearing bathed in soft sunlight. Sit down and feel the peace of this place seep into your bones. Feel the sun on your face, the leaves rustling, the sand droplets dropping down, my heartbeat, the birds, the crunchy leaves, the wind, the river flowing in the back. Do you hear it? Now that you've sat down with your back leaning against that tall and resilient tree, reflect on your journey so far. Remember the challenges you faced and the obstacles you've overcome. Each step, no matter how small, has brought you closer to where you are today. And you've shown incredible strength and courage along the way. I have no doubt in that, darling. Now let your thoughts drift to a quiet stream nearby. Watch as the water flows steadily, symbolizing the flow of life's challenges and triumphs. Push and pull, push and pull. Say yourself, letting go any feelings of giving up, allowing them to float away with a gentle current. As you sit in this peaceful moment, surrounded by nature, and by peace, and by tranquility, know that it's okay to feel tired or overwhelmed at times. These feelings are temporary and they do not define you. You have the resilience within you to keep moving forward, one step at a time. And now, think of the comforting sound of the lavender drifting through the air from the flowers on the field. Sense the peaceful rhythm of them moving along with the wind. That's it. That's it. You seem much more relaxed now. I'm so proud of you. You're doing such a good job. Such a good job. Thank you for still being here. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being so unique and for not giving up on yourself. There's just one of you. There's just you. One time on this world. No matter how many people live on this world, the world would not be better without you. Because be sure it is a better place with you in it. For the people that love and care about you. For the life you can live in happiness. And then believing in yourself. I don't know if you can still hear me quite. I doubt it. It looks like you've finally fallen asleep into a peaceful slumber. were indeed very exhausted. Thank you for coming today again. Thank you for seeking help, as it does not make you weak to reach out, to ask for help. It only makes you stronger. So don't fight your battles alone. You don't have to. Okay? You're doing a great job. And I'm proud of you. Now rest as I whisper into your ear and everything slowly fades away. He took a brisk walk through the park, cleaning his mind. Architect that plan for Thank you again, my dear listener, for supporting me and sticking with me and being so sweet and kind and caring. I was so happy you all enjoyed my services, and hopefully I will able to provide again. But for now, good night, sweet dreams. You're doing such a good job. I'm so proud of you. Do you know that? Hmm.